Hello everyone and welcome back to another weather update. Tonight I'll be talking about the severe weather that'll be ongoing in the south central United States, and we'll also talk about the upcoming severe weather for the next couple of days. And I would stay tuned until the very end of the video if you want to see the radar for the south central United States, mainly for Texas and probably Oklahoma. But let's first start off by looking at the Storm Prediction Center's convective outlook. So for today, March the 7th, we have a slight risk that extends from Texas all the way into southern Kansas right there. And this marginal risk around that extends from Texas all the way into Missouri right here and then into Arkansas. But with this risk today, we have a 15% hail risk with that from southern Kansas into Oklahoma and into Texas right there. And then around that is a 5% risk with that 5% from Missouri all the way to Texas again. And then for our wind risk for today, we have a 15% wind risk from southern Kansas right there into about central Texas right there, and a 5% wind risk around that 15%. And then we also have a 2% tornado risk with this. We have one in northern Oklahoma there, and we also have one in southern Kansas, and also a bigger one in central Texas right there. So looking at the 0Z HRRR, it shows strong to severe storms in Oklahoma right here as of around 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. And then we also have storms that are going into southern Kansas right there, and then we also have these storms into northern Texas right here. And over the next couple of hours, these storms in Oklahoma and then into Kansas will pretty much gradually weaken, and then that tornado threat will pretty much diminish over the next couple of hours into Oklahoma and then into Kansas right there. And then we also have these storms down here into Texas and then southeastern Oklahoma and then into western Arkansas right there. And then, as you can see here, more scattered storms begin to develop with that, with these storms right into here. And then we also have some discrete storms trying to form up here into northern Texas right there. And then this will be into very late tonight into early tomorrow. And then we have more discrete storms trying to form into Texas right here. And then we'll really have to watch some of these right here for that tornado potential late tonight into early tomorrow. And then, as you can see here, these storms into Texas kind of go together right here, and then they get less discrete, as well as some into southern Oklahoma and then northern Texas again. And then you have that heavy precipitation into Arkansas and Louisiana right there, and then even into Missouri right there. And then as you get into very early tomorrow morning, you have some storms really getting stronger into central Texas. And then as they get into northern Texas right here early tomorrow morning, they still maintain most of their strength, and these pretty much get into clusters right into here. But as they move east into northeast, they'll begin to weaken until tomorrow morning on Friday. So again, looking at the HRRR, we can see this moisture into Texas right here. We have mid to upper 60s dew points into central to southern Texas, and then on the very southern tip of Texas, we have 70 dew point reading there. But as you have some of those storms into northern Texas, they won't have as much moisture to work with, as well as those storms into Oklahoma and then into Kansas. They won't have a lot of moisture at all. But as you get into the next couple of hours, that moisture will begin to push north a little bit, and you'll have these dew points begin to rise a little bit, as well as those dew points in southern Texas right here moving north. And then as we get into very late tonight into early tomorrow and then into tomorrow morning, we have those dew points beginning to rise again. And then, as you can see here, we have 50s dew points over Oklahoma, and then upper 60s dew points to 70 dew points there from pretty much central Texas right there and into southern Texas here. And then early tomorrow morning, That moisture will really begin to push north as we get that other severe weather threat tomorrow, but we'll talk about that in just a second and discuss the other impacts from that severe weather threat for tomorrow. So looking at the low-level jet on the HRRR, so over the next couple of hours, this low-level jet will pretty much maintain its strength over eastern Texas right here, and we'll have to watch this as well over the next couple of hours for the tornado potential into Texas. And then we'll also have to watch that low-level jet if it catches up with those storms out into central Texas again around right into here. For tomorrow's severe weather threat on Friday, March the 8th, we have a slight risk from Texas all the way into Alabama right here, and then into Arkansas and Louisiana, and into Mississippi and Alabama right there, and that marginal risk around that all the way from Texas and Oklahoma into Georgia right there, and then into Missouri right there. And then with our hail risk, we have a 5% around the 15% risk, and the 15% risk is in Oklahoma, Arkansas, and then northern Louisiana and eastern Texas right there. And we also have a hatch risk with this as well, and this pretty much means there is a 10% or greater probability of 2-inch hail or larger happening in this risk, the hatch risk right here, these dotted lines right here, so in this area right here. And then as we look at our wind risk for tomorrow, we have a 15% wind risk with this from Arkansas and Texas all the way into Alabama again. And then around that is a 5% wind risk with that into Georgia all the way into Texas and Oklahoma. And then with our tornado risk, we have a 5% risk from eastern Texas all the way into Alabama right there, and then into Mississippi and Louisiana and Arkansas right there, and a 5% around that all the way from western Georgia all the way into Texas and Oklahoma, and then into Arkansas, and then even into far southwestern Tennessee. There is a 2% risk there, and then into Louisiana as well. So again, looking at the 0Z HRRR for tomorrow, we have those storms into Texas moving east. And I also forgot to mention, for this view, for right now, we'll be mainly talking about the south central United States, but in just a minute we'll talk about more of the deep south. But for right now, we'll just be looking at the south central US. But as we have those storms in eastern Texas right here moving east, and then those will weaken tomorrow morning. And then we have some more storms and just scattered storms in general forming into eastern Texas, and then to Texas, into southern Kansas, and then into Oklahoma there, and then into Louisiana as well. And then some of these storms will begin to strengthen over eastern Texas right there, as well as even Oklahoma, and then into Arkansas. And then going forward into tomorrow evening, we still have those scattered storms across Texas, Oklahoma, and Arkansas, and then into Louisiana again. We'll mainly have to watch some of these storms, any storms that can form into here for that tornado potential for tomorrow. But mainly these storms will really weaken a lot and begin to dissipate late tomorrow night and then into early on Saturday. So again, looking at the HRRR, but for now, looking mainly towards the southeast and the deep south. We have those storms really getting strong over northern Louisiana into very early tomorrow on Friday. And then as they move into Mississippi right there, these will be really strong, and you'll have to watch this for that tornado threat tomorrow. And then again, these will continue to move east. And then as you have some of these storms right here into Louisiana and then into Mississippi again, they'll pretty much stay there and maintain their strength or strengthen a little bit. And then moving this forward until about late morning into about early afternoon, you have these more discrete storms beginning to form into Louisiana and then Mississippi. And then you really get more of these storms beginning to form mainly into more of a cluster right into here, from Alabama all the way into Louisiana and then into Mississippi right there. And then these storms really have that potential for those tornadoes tomorrow, that tornado potential for sure over Mississippi, Louisiana, and Alabama right there. And then into tomorrow evening, you have those clusters all the way into Mississippi and Alabama, and even those storms into possibly the panhandle of Florida right there, and then into Louisiana still. And then they will continue to move east, and then you have some heavy rain moving into Georgia right here. And then also this will also be a spot for that tornado potential for tomorrow as well. And then you still have many storms and clusters of storms and cells into Alabama, Mississippi, and even to Florida right there. And then still moving into late tomorrow night, you have those storms beginning to move mainly northeast across, even still across Mississippi, Alabama, and into Georgia. And then still moving into very late on tomorrow night into early Saturday, you have these storms beginning to still move east, and you'll still have that chance for tornadoes and then damaging winds as well with all of these storms. So looking at the radar all the way from Kansas into Texas and then even into Missouri right here, we have storms all the way from Missouri into Texas and then into Oklahoma, as well as southern Kansas right here, and showers into Arkansas. And then looking up here, we have some showers into Illinois and then Missouri again, and then into Iowa right into here. And then if we look at our storms into Oklahoma, Texas, and Kansas, we have some stronger storms into Missouri here and southwestern Missouri. And we also have a severe thunderstorm warning in southern Kansas right here. And then we also have another severe thunderstorm warning in northern Oklahoma right here. And then moving down into Texas, we also have another severe thunderstorm warning right here. And then just looking east, we still have some thunderstorms into central Texas right here, and then some showers right there, and pretty much into Oklahoma, and then still have some showers into Arkansas as well. And then looking up northeast, we have some showers all the way into Illinois and then Iowa right there. So that's going to be it for tonight's video. I really appreciate all of y'all watching, and I will try to make another video tomorrow regarding the severe weather tomorrow, and then also the severe weather for Saturday as well. And then, as I've said before, I'm always trying to improve on my forecasts and updates like this one. But I really do appreciate all of y'all who clicked on the video or stayed until the end. But I hope y'all have a great evening, and I hope all of y'all stay safe.